the non-stop questions about his birth certificate and his belief in God. Now I know that politics has always been a rough sport. I also know that well-meaning folks can get heated in the midst of contentious debates. And in light of today's 24-hour news cycle, in this era where our Facebook feeds are limited to the voices of folks who think exactly like we do, and our TVs and radios are exclusively tuned in to those who tell us only what we want to hear, it's not surprising that our disagreements have become more personal, more intense. It's not surprising that we too often demean or dismiss opinions that are different than our own. But we wouldn't be kidding ourselves if we didn't acknowledge that those age-old issues that have always roiled our country, the problems a lot of folks would just rather brush under the rug, those challenges are still with us today. We can't deny it. However, graduates, even in these volatile times, it would be unfair for us to ignore the changes we've seen in a generation. No longer can we be barred from a university or hotel or arrested for sitting at the front of the bus or forced to use a separate bathroom or water fountain because of the color of our skin. No one's going to poll test us by demanding that we recite the Constitution or correctly guess the number of jelly beans in a jar before we're allowed to vote. So yes, we continue to make progress here in America. But we also know that the shadows of the past have not completely disappeared. Despite all the progress we made, I know that so many of you still see these shadows every single day. Maybe it's when you're driving somewhere and you stop for no particular reason. Maybe it's when the store you enter into folks seem to keep an extra close eye on you as you shop. Maybe it's when you walk down the sidewalk and folks cross the street when they see you coming. Maybe it's when the early voting location in your neighborhood just happens to be closed. Or law after law is passed about the kind of ID you need to cast your vote. Maybe it's all those schools that, despite the laws, are still very much separate and unequal. Or the criminal justice system that still doesn't provide truly equal justice for far too many. Or those neighborhoods that are struggling still to overcome the painful legacy of the past. I wish I could say otherwise, graduates. But the question isn't whether you're going to come face to face with these issues. The question is how you're going to respond when you do. Are you going to throw up your hands and say that progress will never come? Are you going to get angry and lash out? Are you going to turn inward and just give in to despair and frustration? Or are you going to take a deep breath, straighten your shoulders, lift up your head, and do what Barack Obama has always done? As he says, when they go low, I go high. That's the choice Barack and I have made. That's what has kept us sane over the years. We simply do not allow space in our hearts, minds, or souls for darkness. Instead, we choose faith. Faith in ourselves, in the power of hard work. Faith in our God, whose overwhelming love sustains us every single day. That's what we choose. We choose love. Our love for our children. Our commitment to leaving them a better world. Our love for our country, which has given us so many blessings and advantages. Our love for our fellow citizens, parents, working hard to support their kids, men and women in uniform who risk everything to keep us safe, young people from the toughest backgrounds who never stop believing in their dreams, young people like so many of you. That's what we choose. And we choose excellence. We choose to tune out all the noise and strive for excellence in everything we do. No cutting corners, no taking shortcuts, no whining. We give 120% every single time because is the most powerful answer you can give to the doubters and the haters. It's also the most powerful thing you can do for yourself. See, because the process of striving and struggling and pushing yourself to new heights, see, that's how you develop your God-given talents. That's how you make yourself stronger and smarter and more able to make a difference for others. So those are the choices that Barack and I have made. Because in the end, we know our history. And we know that there will always be challenges and obstacles. But we also know that what we're dealing with today is nothing compared to the violence, discrimination, and hatred that folks faced decades ago. And while this may feel like a volatile time, while we may be rightfully horrified by the divisive rhetoric we're hearing in our public conversation, while we may be brokenhearted that we're still dealing with the issues of poverty and mass incarceration and gun violence, it is remarkable progress that these issues are seeing the light of day at all. It's remarkable progress that the vast majority of Americans in all corners of the country vehemently disagree with this hateful language. It is remarkable progress that we're having these conversations on a national level, not just in Black communities, but in all communities. So graduates, make no mistake about it. This moment presents a historic opportunity for change. And your generation, more than any generation in our history, truly has the tools and opportunities you need to seize this moment. I want you to think about the statistics. Today, more African Americans are graduating from college, succeeding in our workplaces, taking on positions of leadership, and reporting greater optimism about the future. And optimism, by the way, that I very much share. So the question is, are you ready to step up and use your power and your privilege to make change? Will you honor the legacy of those who came before you, who fought so hard, sacrificed so much so that you can be here in the stadium wearing those beautiful caps and gowns today? And if you have any question as to what that legacy is, let me just share with you a quick story. Several months ago, I was meeting with a group of teenage girls from Washington, D.C., and one of them asked me, well, what do you think Dr. King would say about everything that's going on today? And I told them that none of us can really answer that question, but I said that Dr. King would probably answer with a simple question, and that is, did you vote? Did you vote? See, I told the young women that I think Dr. King would be very concerned that after folks like Medgar Evers and so many others gave their lives fighting for the right to vote, that today in almost every election, more than half of young African Americans have essentially disenfranchised themselves. In the 2014 midterms, African American youth turnout was less than 20%. Fewer than 1 in 5 of our young people voted. And here in Mississippi, it was almost lower, certainly lower. But what Dr. King understood was that one of the surest paths to progress here in America runs straight through the voting booth. That's been the key to every single stride we have ever taken in this country, from fighting discrimination to passing health care. It all starts with the ballot. So graduates, as you seek to develop your own strategies to address the problems that still plague our communities, I just ask you to remember that the power of voting is real and lasting. So you can hashtag all over Instagram and Twitter, but those social media movements will disappear faster than a Snapchat if you're not also registered to vote. If you're not also sending in your absentee ballot. If we fail to exercise our fundamental right to vote, then I guarantee that so much of the progress we fought for will be under threat. Congress will still be gridlocked. State houses will continue to roll back voting rights and write discrimination into the law. We see it right here in Mississippi just 2 weeks ago, how swiftly progress can occur backwards. How easy it is to single out a small group and marginalize them because of who they are or who they love. So we've got to stand side by side with all of our neighbors. Straight, gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, Muslim, Jew, Christian, Hindu, immigrant, Native American, because the March for Civil Rights isn't just about African Americans, it's about all Americans. It's about making things more just, more equal, more free for all our kids and grandkids. That's the story you all have an opportunity to write. That's what this historic university has prepared you to do. So graduates, here is my challenge to you today. I want you to honor the legacy of our past by making your mark on the future. Graduates, I want you to choose a career that you believe in. Something that doesn't just make money, but that truly makes a difference for others. And I want you to do whatever you can to reach back and pull those who still are struggling with you. Graduates, I want you all to be excellent at everything you do. Be an excellent boss, be an excellent employee, be an excellent parent, mentor, congregant, neighbor, be excellent. And graduates, when you encounter small slights or small people, I hope and I pray that you stand tall and respond with dignity and grace. Because no one ever succeeds in this world by playing small. And finally, graduates, I just want you to remember that decades from now, someone will be standing here where I'm standing today. And they will be telling that new class of graduates about all of you. So we're counting on you to live lives worthy of retelling. Lives that will inspire our next generation to keep walking that path to righteousness and doing the work to fulfill that dream. Because here's the thing, I know you can do that and so much more. That's why I'm here. I am so proud of you all for making it to this day, for pushing and fighting. Because I know that if you hold tight to the example of the folks who led us this far, if you choose faith and love, if you strive always for dignity and excellence, then there is absolutely nothing you can't achieve. I say that from the bottom of my heart because I'm not here because I'm special. I was you. And if I can be here, you can do it too. And if you ever doubt the impact you can have, I just want you to think back to the story of this school. This great school that you are now a part of. That tiny little seminary, as you see, is now a distinguished university, one of the largest, most vibrant HBCUs in the country. This is your alma mater. Pushing forward in science and technology, the arts, education, and so much more. You all, that's your legacy. And that Jackson State football coach I mentioned earlier who helped desegregate the stadium, his full name is Rod Page. And he went on to become our nation's first African-American Secretary of Education. And as for that crowd that rallied for segregation in these stands singing Never, No, Never, well, just 50 years later, our country elected an African-American president for a second term, declaring, yes, we can. Graduates, that is what's possible in this country of ours. That is the direction history can take when passionate, courageous, talented young people like all of you step up and lead the way. I know you got it in you. I can feel it right from here. And as you say here at Jackson State, the world better get ready because here y'all come. I love you all so much. I hope you have a phenomenal day. I will pray for you every step of the way. God bless you all.